Low-key, I'm gonna record this in case we put it on the second channel. Alright, a look back on 2020 quarantine gaming. I remember the games that came out during this era were like Fall Guys, Among Us. What else came out? I mean, Among Us didn't come out 2020, but like it was popular 2020. What else came out 2020? I don't know. I remember Madden 20. Madden 20 and peak COVID was crazy, dude. Superstar KO.
Let me take you guys back to March of 2020, 5 years ago. Yes, you heard that right, 5 years ago, and it's only gonna get further away as more time goes by. I was 18 at the time, living with my parents. Now I'm 23 with a full-time job. I've got rent and bills. Use code Tedesco in the Fortnite item shop, by the way. Most of you were probably in school like myself and got a phone call or an email that school's out for the next 2 weeks. I didn't see that building for another year and a half.
I remember, because I think when I first got notified, like I think when my school first got notified that like COVID was like going around was like December 2019. So I remember reading like the email about it and being like, oh, this sounds like we're getting a vacation. And then March hit, and that's when it like blew out of proportion. And then I was like, wow, okay, we're definitely getting a vacation. And they're like, yeah, we're gone for 2 weeks. And then yeah, lockdown happened. Which, not gonna lie, I kind of liked the lockdown. Not having to deal with people back then, being an introverted kid and just playing Minecraft and digging in my butt, like, fuck yeah.
2020, when the whole world was falling apart, was easily a top 5 time ever. Everyone was home. I mean, what else was there to do other than playing video games with the boys at like 2 a.m.? You didn't have to be up the next morning for school or work, or maybe you did, but you didn't even have to be fully present. Just join the call, mute up, and tab out. You really just had to be there, but if you weren't, that's alright, because today we're going to be looking back at gaming during the quarantine days.
Man, Jesus Christ! Holy shit, these toddlers up on my dick, man. I mean...
Since this is a Fortnite channel, I guess it makes sense to start off with that. In March of 2020, Fortnite was in the long-awaited and highly regarded Chapter 2 Season 2, which many claim to be Fortnite's second prime and one of the best seasons, or maybe just the best season of all time.
I don't think it's the best season of all time, but it definitely was a really quality season. I really liked this season of Fortnite.
For context, Chapter 2 Season 1 was originally supposed to end in December of 2019, but got delayed twice until February, making it a 128-day long season, which I guess could have been fine if we were getting updates during this time, even just unvaulting old stuff. But no, Chapter 2 Season 1 had roughly one update a month and is looked back on as one of the most boring seasons of all time. So Season 2 finally launched, and we got 5 new POIs, bosses with mythic weapons, vaults, and we were actually getting updates every 2 weeks. So when lockdown happened, a lot of people returned to Fortnite and were thrown into this season. Now, the updates obviously did slow down, and the season was extended 3 times, making Season 2 last for 118 days. But what's crazy is that during this pandemic, Epic was somehow able to pull off a Travis Scott concert and the Device live event.
I remember that concert. Are we really getting nostalgic over 2020 right now?
Now, as I said, people absolutely love this season looking back on it. But hot take, I personally was not a fan. It's just my opinion. You can cancel me, I don't care. Maybe that's a whole other video for another day, but there's enough Chapter 2 Season 2 retrospectives out there. Hell, you could even watch videos from that season to see what's wrong with it. Chapter 2 Season 3 dropped with probably the craziest map change they've ever done. Still to this day, that flooded map on day 1 was insane, but most of the gameplay that season felt like a downgrade from Season 2. There definitely were some people who did like Season 3, but when you put it in between the Midas season and the Marvel season, and it's the shortest of all of them, it's pretty forgettable.
Yeah, Season 3 was looking kind of buns.
August, Chapter 2 Season 4 launched, Fortnite's first ever full-on collab season, and you really had to be there to understand how big of a deal this was. We've had another Marvel season and a Star Wars season, but we get collabs in Fortnite all the time now. You just have to imagine in 2020 this was a massive, crazy collab, and they delivered with the gameplay way more so than in the Doom season. So Fortnite Chapter 2 Seasons 2, 3, and 4 went down during peak COVID time, and people have a lot of nostalgia for that prime of Fortnite. But even with all that, Fortnite still might have not gone down as the most iconic battle royale game during this time.
We all love the game.
Low-key, I'm saying I was never a Warzone guy. Not only was my internet too bad back then to play it, but when I did have the chance to play it, it just wasn't fun. Like, I just didn't enjoy the game. I think when Warzone 2 came out, though, despite me not really liking the new Modern Warfare 2, I thought Warzone 2 wasn't bad. I thought it was definitely better, in my opinion, which I know will sound like a really hot take. But even then, that game got really boring. Like, I don't know, I've just never really been like a big Warzone guy.
I love the game.
Hey, fuck you, wild pants! You hear me? You little fuck!
I know you can hear me. I know you can. You are so fucking bad.
So I'm gonna be honest, I never played this game, or I played it for like 2-3 matches. It didn't run very well on my PC, and I wasn't that great at the game. I never played COD before, so I just uninstalled. I never got into it. But this game was way too big to not be included, so I'm gonna pass the mic to my boy Quig.
Tedesco's making a video about gaming in 2020, so you know he had to call in the big guns. The person who got cars removed from the game for a weekend, talk about one of the biggest games of the year and many years since then, Call of Duty Warzone. Showed up at exactly the right time, and for a lot of us, it turned lockdown into something just a little bit more bearable. By 2020, Call of Duty was already a household name, and Battle Royale was the genre that everyone was playing. So
how many people remember Blackout from Black Ops 4? Well, honestly, Blackout. If they just never did Warzone and they just did another Blackout, I would like that a lot more. I actually really liked Blackout.
Warzone was released out of nowhere in March 2020 with no real official announcement from COD until the day before release, right as the world shut down. It was like lightning in a bottle. Everyone was stuck at home, bored out of their minds, and suddenly COD gives us a free Battle Royale. Within 24 hours, it had over 6 million players. It launched with 150 players per match, the most we'd ever seen at the time, and it still felt fast. COD's gunplay, its movement, and its pacing just made the whole experience feel smoother than other BRs at the time. Loadouts that you could buy and call in, letting you actually use your custom guns mid-match, buy stations that let you bring back teammates or grab kill streaks, and let's talk about the most iconic feature of the game.
Okay, I will say, the Gulag was a fire addition. I think the Gulag was a pretty cool part of the game. Because not only was it a way for you to get back into the game, but honestly, there would be some Gulag face-offs where you'd have, and it honestly felt more intense than like an actual gunfight in the game. So it actually felt like you really had to like be on your top shit if you wanted back in the lobby.
The Gulag. You get eliminated, you don't go to a menu. You go to jail. You fight another player 1v1, and if you win, you drop back in the game.
Yeah, Wiz, you got this Gulag, bro, I believe. He's left.
No way that's a real clip.
Unlucky.
That mechanic
No way that's a real clip. No way. Surely not.
changed the Battle Royale formula. Suddenly dying wasn't the end. It was just another challenge. I think the real reason Warzone stuck with so many people is because it came at a time when we needed something like it. During lockdown, it wasn't just about winning. It's about logging on with your friends every night, laughing at squad wipes, screaming during final circles, trash talking your buddy when he lost the gulag with a pistol.
Back left, back left, back left, back left, back left. Can't see him. He's so far back left. Mid. Right, back right, mid left.
It wasn't perfect.
Dude, Tim gets so invested in these games, and it makes like these type of clips so much funnier. Because whether it's like Ninja, Tim's own clips, or like anybody in that like type of community, if Tim is mad in that clip, he just elevates it like 1,000%.
Cheaters, broken metas, that DMR meta, but it was fun. I know I had a lot of fun playing it, and I know a lot of you guys did too. That's all I have to say about Warzone. It was a truly internet-breaking game, and it took the world by storm.
Okay, you guys are gonna see this epic play again, but this time it's gonna work.
Valorant, I did not get into Valorant until like 2024. And even then, I'm not like into Valorant. I like didn't play it until 2024. Because 2020, I didn't have a PC, and it wasn't on Xbox or anything like that yet. So I just never got into Valorant like during its peak.
Okay, I don't think Valorant has a good reputation at all nowadays, and I'm totally on board with that, but during COVID, this was probably my most played game. It was something new, for me at least. I never played CSGO. The visuals and character that this game had looked super appealing. The rollout of the game had people talking. The beta was released in April of 2020, and the only way to get access to the game was from randomly being selected while watching Twitch streams. Once
I remember
all the boys
that.
got access, we were on this 24/7, and it was so fun despite all of us being complete ass at this game. I think we were all Iron 1 for like a month straight, but unfortunately the game devolved rapidly. I guess my biggest issue is that this isn't a casual game at all, but when it first released and everyone was new, you could have stupid fun with it. But now if you're not playing the game like a Navy SEAL, dude, your teammates are cursing your bloodline for generations to come.
No,
Also,
for
I
real.
point out the simplicity.
That is one thing I do not like about Valorant, is the game chat is just toxic. And like, there's some games where like they can have a toxic voice chat, but you can also make it not like funny, but like, for example, Call of Duty. There are a lot of Call of Duty chats where they're just straight toxic and they're not fun to be a part of, but there also are some where like people are just genuinely getting heated over the game and they're trash talking about the game. Those lobbies are those lobbies are fun to be in because it's like at the end of the day, you guys are just mad at the game. You guys are shit talking to each other, banter, that's fine. But Valorant, every single game chat I have been in Valorant, if I was ass in that game, instantly I would just hear some of the most wretched bullshit. Like, mind you, I didn't even step foot in ranked. I was only play casual when I played Valorant. And yet, there'd be still people, mind you, my level was like level 4, it was visible on my goddamn profile. And then I would get like completely dicked from the corner because, again, I was ass of the game. And then, next thing you know, hey, get off the fucking game, your ass. And then they said a lot worse than that. I can't repeat it on Twitch, but it was just horrible, dude. It was just too toxic.
Of the game in the earlier seasons, the original maps, there were only like 10 characters, so it was pretty easy to learn everything. So while you wouldn't be able to pay me to reinstall this game, it absolutely carried 2020 for me and the boys.
Everyone in the bunker.
We're playing hide and seek.
Let's just camp here.
CAMPFIRESONG.
Bro, no. Animal Crossing peak COVID was insane.
Alright, that's enough online multiplayer PvP. Nintendo had a huge release in 2020, and the stars basically aligned for these guys. A new Animal Crossing game for the Switch was announced in 2018 and planned to release in 2019, but ended up getting delayed, releasing on March 20th, 2020. There could not have possibly been a better time for this game to release. Again, everyone is inside.
Do you guys remember the that one picture of like these fans of Nintendo begging them to release the game a few days early because of COVID? Hold on, let me try to find it. Hold on, make sure. Dearest Nintendo, we call upon you during these unprecedented times to show the best in humanity. It may seem trivial to release Animal Crossing New Horizons just a few days early, but by doing so, you'll be providing a much-needed distraction to those self-isolating from the scary circumstances of the outside world. Animal Crossing is a game well known for being meditative, relaxing, and joyous, therefore provoking much-needed feelings in the current climate. Copies of the game are already in the hands of critics, so it shouldn't be difficult to release this loving game digitally before its physical launch on Friday. It may seem small, but it will mean so much to many people around the world. Spelled regards wrong. Kind regards, your loyal and loving fans. Hashtag release Animal Crossing early. This was like, I think it was made as a meme, honestly. It definitely is a shitpost. Without a doubt. It definitely is a shitpost. It's just, I don't know. It was funny how, like, that community was just spreading that like wildfire. It was crazy.
Everyone's playing games. This one is super casual. Practically every household has a Switch or got one that year because the Switch actually sold the most units of any console in 2020 in the US, and this made it the second best year for US console sales, just behind the Wii in 2000.
Damn.
Animal Crossing New Horizons went on to be the second best-selling game on the Switch. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is running away with that #1 spot, and deservedly so, but if the Booster Course Pass never released, these two titles would probably be a lot closer in sales. Unfortunately, I don't have much to say about Animal Crossing's actual gameplay because I never played it. Maybe I will one day, but again,
dude, how many games has this guy not played? I'm sorry, I don't mean to rip on the guy. Hasn't played Warzone. I mean, he said he played a little bit of Warzone, but not playing Animal Crossing? Really? I don't know.
Had to be included in this video.
I just hope that.
Okay.
Now, even if you ignore the fact that Animal Crossing released at the best possible time and sold a shit ton of copies, Nintendo still had a pretty interesting year.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure. Had people talking about leaks for like 6 months straight. A huge leak came out in the beginning of the year about Mario's 35th anniversary, and it just sounded way too good to be true and unrealistic for Nintendo standards. First, we hear about 3D World getting ported to the Switch, and an All-Stars-like collection with 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy. Dude, this is a fever dream. Nintendo is notoriously bad when it comes to letting you play their old games. Like, God forbid a brother just wants to play Donkey Kong Jungle Beat on the Switch while catching a vibe. So this was huge news, and people were talking about it for half a year because Nintendo was ridiculously quiet in 2020. 2020. COVID played a hand in delaying their games and announcements, so we went from the last Nintendo Direct being in September of 2019 and waiting a full year for the Mario 35th Anniversary Direct to randomly be uploaded with no announcement. And
this was a crazy Direct. I remember seeing all the streams and people like reacting to this.
yeah, everything sort of came true, but 3D All-Stars was kind of a disappointment, with Sunshine being upgraded to widescreen but not 64, and for some reason this was a limited time release. But look, even though those were just lazy ports, it was nice to have them playable on the Switch, and the hype leading up to the Direct was what kept most Nintendo fans sane in 2020.
Oh my dude, this just brought me back. Who was... I want to say I was the purple alien. I think I was Team Purple. Dude, the aliens were this was an insane era.
What do you guys know about the green versus purple alien war in GTA? This was so out of nowhere. I guess people were just bored during quarantine. Now, I didn't have GTA. I had it on Xbox 360 when it first came out, but I hadn't played it in years, and I was thinking about buying it on PC, and then at the perfect time, Epic Games decided to bless everyone by making it free for a week on their launcher, right in the middle of this green versus purple stuff and the resurgence of GTA Online. And this game damn near took over my life that summer. I don't know how big of a deal GTA was to everyone else that year. Obviously, the green versus purple stuff was a big deal, but after that died down, me and the boys were still having fun with it, and I decided to try the story mode, which for some reason I never played before. I don't know, I vaguely remember it when the game first came out, but I guess I never got into it. But holy shit, this is peak. I was staying up late and setting alarms to wake up early to keep going. So for whatever reason, if you haven't played GTA 5 story mode, I highly recommend it. If you don't already own this game, it's usually on sale.
Dude, low-key, every time I buy this game, like, new, like, every time I have it on a new platform, it's always, like, I always play through the story mode.
Funny that this game that was 7 years old at the time, and 12 years old now, holy shit, was such a highlight.
This nether highway is going to be really useful.
Minecraft. I never played this one.
Yeah, but I'm not done yet, though.
Wait, you're not done building it?
Of old games, an absolute classic. Minecraft had a good year in 2020, and we got a really solid update.
We came across the nether.
Okay, the nether update was cool.
The nether.
The nether update dropped, and this went down as one of the most game-changing updates. This was announced in late 2019 and somehow didn't get delayed, so round of applause for Mojang. Now they're struggling to make 3 mobs and a new wood type for an update, but they managed to make this while the world was ending. And not only the nether update that introduced 4 new biomes, 4 new mobs, bastions, and ore stronger than diamonds.
3 netherite ingots. Yes, sir!
This peak music disc out of nowhere.
I remember when this one came out.
They were also working on Java's PvP. We got a bunch of test snapshots to rework the combat. It wouldn't just revert 1.9's changes, but it was a good middle ground and a step in the right direction. And then after August, they just dropped it, and we haven't heard anything since. But it was promising while it was going on. Minecraft was absolutely killing it on YouTube this year. I'm sure you guys remember Dream and the Pedo SMP. And on Twitch.
Dude, SMPs were crazy. Back in 2020, everyone was running SMPs, dude. Like, every creator. Like, from 2020 to 2022, every creator had some type of, like, Minecraft world. With, like, either it was, like, a solo series or, like, an SMP style where, like, multiple creators were on a server. It was everywhere, dude.
Because 1.16's introduction of bartering completely changed the way that speedrunning this game worked. As someone that grew up just messing around in creative mode on Xbox 360 and then PvPing on servers in Java Edition, I never gave survival a shot. But with all the big up...
Dude, again, no, I do not mean any hate. I do not mean to be rude. But how the fuck are most of the games on this video ones you haven't played? I mean, I know you said you messed around with creative and like servers, but you never played survival? What? What? Come on. Fire video, by the way. But like, really, man, like you missed out.
Updates Minecraft had been getting, especially the Nether update, it felt like a much more complete experience and the perfect game to just sink hours into when everyone's stuck at home.
Or I think he said he didn't play it up till that point, which in that case, okay.
Now let me tell you guys about that first month when Fall Guys released. The online multiplayer space is dominated by PvP games, so this was much needed, and it was really fun until it was boring. I don't know, there's only so much of this game that you could play, especially on launch. The minigames that they had were pretty limited, and some of them, yes, I'm talking about that egg roundup game.
I hate this game.
There was also an unusual amount of hackers for a children's party game that kind of killed the vibe. But again, when this game first released, it was super refreshing. Getting your first Fall Guys win was so hype. Witnessing one of your boys' first Fall Guys win was so hype.
Quick! I think Quick got it, bro. Go, Quick, go!
Woo!
Let's go!
And the internet watching Tim the Tatman finally get his first win after weeks was a spectacle. And although this game died pretty fast,
I remember that. I remember that arc.
Wouldn't be the last time we would see a playable Bean character this year.
Hello? Is this Among Us? Imposter? Is this the imposter from Among Us?
Yes, this is me, imposter.
I genuinely think that you can trace the origins of modern brain rot back to Among Us.
I remember this channel, Arcade Craniacs. Dude, they had one of the weirdest, like, come-ups and fall-offs, like, of recent YouTube history. Like, dude, I remember when, like, everyone was covering them, and then, like, a bunch of drama and shit happened. Or, not drama, just, like, a bunch of, like, bad shit happened, and then just instantly killed, like, all momentum.
2020. Like, in the same way that hearing any words associated with low taper fade are sleeper agent activations, dude, we were not only hearing, but we were seeing Among Us everywhere.
Stop posting about Among Us!
I'm tired of saying it! And the Discord is Among Us, and everything is Among Us!
With this game, it served as a nice opportunity to just gaslight your friends, and when someone would unintentionally play third imposter and vouch for the random bullshit that you just made up on the spot, dude, that was one of the greatest feelings ever. Contrary to that, trying to convince the lobby that you're actually innocent might have been the most difficult thing I have ever experienced in my 23 years on this earth.
Shut the fuck up!
This game,
dude, I swear to God, it was so funny, like, pinning it on other people and, like, getting other people out. But the minute you were in the hot seat, you were putting all hands on deck. You were like, no. You were trying to clear your shit, like, as soon as you could. Like, it was like court.
absolutely took over Twitch, which obviously makes sense. All the streamers are playing it in groups together, so it was easier for viewers to just watch those lobbies than to gather 9 friends to hop on at the same time. It did get repetitive, just like Fall Guys. There's a limited amount of lies that you can come up with and a finite number of friendships to burn.
Once this game is done, you're gonna realize you're a donut. Once this game is done, you're gonna realize you're a donut. I swear to God, bro. I swear to God.
I clocked you, Don.
This fucking fat old prick, mate. He's putting on pounds again as well, you know.
But it was fun while it lasted. It was something new. I'm pretty sure we didn't have a popular social deduction video game before this, and it may have caused irreversible damage to the internet, but that's alright.
Dude,
so that's
that GIF.
Lockdown gaming. It was a very special time, and for me, a nice break from life, college. As I said, I was living with my parents, no job.
I think that was a good video. Shout out to Tedesco.